Fill an entire bag with books for only $10? Yes, please. Twice. 3 times. Hi, my name's Bea and welcome to my channel, Mama Needs to Read Romance, because nobody in the books in this bag is going to get their hair stuck in a drone. We had to cut it. I was so excited when I found out my local library was doing a fill-a-bag sale. You take as many books as you can fit into a bag and you pay $10. I wound up getting 3 bags. 1 was for my kids, but 2 were for me. I like to buy books on sale, and I also like to use my Goodreads app. So if a book has a 4.0 or better, I will usually pick it up if I'm already interested in it. The only books I end up grabbing that are below a 4.0 are generally if I'm excited about that series or that author. So I have to start with my favorite historical romance author, Lisa Kleypas. I was so insanely excited to get Scandal in Spring. This is the 4th book in the Wallflower series. I have every one of them now except for It Happened One Autumn. I'm so excited. This one got a 4.03 on Goodreads. And you know what else is really funny? Somebody wrote on here, mail check. That's an interesting way to remind oneself to do things. In fact, I think I'll make a note right now. Start writing on covers of books to remind myself to do things. Yeah. No. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I would buy a book knowing full well that I already own that book. But I already had Stranger in My Arms. And when I saw this, though, I couldn't help myself. Are you ready? This is the other one. And look how gorgeous the cover is. I am in heaven right now. And I got this as part of a $10 fill a bag sale. I can't even. Check out the gorgeous step back as well. I love the roses, all different colors. And of course, you know those colors all mean something different. And I love the dress and the oh my gosh, the nape of the neck. I'm reading the Stay a Spell series right now, and that author is so into guys who hold girls by the napes of their neck. It's not even funny. Also, check out the manor in the background. I have a feeling we will be seeing that in this book. Now, this only got a 3.77 on Goodreads, but as I said, I'm in love with Lisa Kleypas. I'm in love with this step back. And I can't wait to give this a try. I have the first 2 of the Bow Street Runner series already. There they are, right there. Someone to Watch Over Me and Lady Sophia's Lover. I just completed my set, worth any price. And check out the step back. Oh my gosh, another step back. I know. I love the necklace on the back and the color. This beautiful fabric. I love the way the light plays on everybody. This one got a 4.02 on Goodreads. I've heard such fabulous things about the Gamblers of Craven series, so I've been really excited to try it, and I just got the first book, Then Came You. It got a 3.97 on Goodreads, but it gets better. I also got book 2. I had a copy, actually, of book 2, but I couldn't help myself because, again, look what we're dealing with here. We've got a gorgeous, gorgeous cover, and then you open it, and look at the step back! And it is none other than Derek Craven, who apparently, from what I've heard, is one of the best historical romance heroes of all time. And sorry about the glare. I am so excited to read this. I can't even tell you. This series, I am all over this. The next series I read of Lisa Kleypas is 100% going to be this series. I cannot wait. Look how lovely. That's our Derek Craven. I don't know him yet, but I'm looking forward to meeting him. Oh, and this book got a 4.18 on Goodreads. So now I'm going to talk about Julia Quinn, Minx. And what's so interesting is, believe it or not, that actually relates back to Gamblers of Cravens. Let me explain how. This is book 3 of the Splendid trilogy, also known as the Blyden Family Saga series. This got a 3.86 on Goodreads. Now, the book after this is a novella. And what's so cool is it's in the same anthology as the novella that comes after this book. It's called Where's My Hero? And there's another, I'll put it up over here. There's another author who's also featured in it. You better believe after I finish Gamblers of Cravens and maybe I'll get into Splendid, I'm going to read Where's My Hero? And I'll be able to see a novella from each. And how cool that they're in the same anthology. I don't own it, but it's at my local library. I already checked. Okay, talk about being a repeat offender. So I already own book 5 of the Bridgerton series, To Sir Philip with Love. But guess what I found? Boom! To Sir Philip with Love with a step back. Yes. Is this not gorgeous? I was so excited when I saw this. I thought, oh my gosh, I have to have it. And again, filling a bag for $10. So come on. And now this one will join my pile that I'm taking with me when I go on my book hunt, which I will put in a video about free little libraries. So I'm excited. I don't know if I'm going to be donating more or getting more, but either way, it'll be a fun video, I think. You want to talk about some interesting step backs? I got a couple. They're contemporary. Did you know that was even a thing? I did not. I always thought step backs were historical, but apparently they can be contemporary. And so I have 2 here in the same series by Kristen Fian. I was willing to take a chance on something I had never tried before based on the ratings and the fact that I could just fill a bag for $10. So what a great opportunity to try out new authors, I tell you. This one is the Drake Sisters #4, and this one is the Drake Sisters #2. There are 6 books in total. This one got a 4.30 and this one got a 4.23 on Goodreads, and they have a lot of reviews. So you know these are good. And honestly, the subject matter might be a little bit heavy for my taste, but I'm definitely willing to give it a whirl. These women are not actually technically sisters. They've all 6 of them have been through quite a bit in their lives. They buy land together. It's like a giant farm, and each of them has their own home on this huge amount of farmland. And they wind up in each story finding a man who is quite a warrior in his own right. And they basically make him an even better man. So I'm really intrigued by these. I want to give them a try. And let me show you the step backs. Okay, you ready? So here we have Dangerous Tides. She's pulled by the forceful desires of 2 men and in danger of being swept away. Love triangle, anyone? Yes, please. And here is the step back. It's not historical, but you won't see me complaining. Whoever thought you'd see a helicopter in a step back? Spirit bound. She was the obsession of 2 men. Another love triangle. Interesting. And apparently here's just one of them. I just realized I forgot one of my Julia Quinn. Let me show you, because it has a step back on the back cover, which thanks to Instagram the other day, they told me it still counts as a step back if it's on the back cover. So thank you to those of you doing the public service and educating myself. We have Brighter Than the Sun, which I love this cover. This is raised. I love it, love it. And then check out the back. I've got my notes on the back here. This is book 2. Oh, look at this. And someone put tape on this. And poor little thing, his head is partly missing. But I love this. I mean, who doesn't love a gal on a swing being pushed by a gorgeous man whose shirt is falling off? This is book 2 of the Linden Sisters, and it got a 3.91 on Goodreads. Okay, let's talk contemporary for a minute here. I fell in love with Cara Bastone. If you've seen me, I've done like 10 videos on Cara Bastone's Audible originals. They're part of Audible Plus, blah, blah, blah. I've told you this so many times, I'm sorry. But they were so much fun. I loved her books that were basically like a meet cute. They were part of the Love Line series. And when I found out through Christy of Christy Reads a Lot that she also does real books, not just Audible stuff, I was really excited to try to find something. And I have found 2 of her 4 books. They're part of the Forever Yours series. This is number 1, and it got a 3.99 on Goodreads. There is one though before this, 0.5, the prequel, When We First Met. So I'm on the lookout for that one. And then this one is Forever Yours, as I said, number 3. This one was published last year, so there very well could be more. And this one got a 4.14 on Goodreads. So both got great reviews. The only full-length novella that I need that's between these 2 is Can't Help Falling. And don't you know, I am going to be hunting for that one so hard. I'm just beyond excited to read these. Have you ever been looking at a historical romance novel and you thought there was a step back, but it was a total tease? That's what Mary Jo Putney did to me. As you may know, she often has incredible step backs. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, it's going to be amazing. And it's nothing. There's no step back there. I was a little disappointed. By the way, you know you've made it when your name is way bigger than the title. This got a 3.95 on Goodreads. It's number 4 of the Lost Lords series out of 7. I love how this series is described. It says, in this Regency romance series, Mary Jo Putney introduces the Lost Lords, maverick childhood friends with a flair for defying convention. Each is about to discover the woman who is his perfect match, but perfection does not come easily. Here is a step back that did not disappoint, an actual step back in Galen Foley's My Dangerous Duke. Check this one out. I've never heard anything about Galen Foley before. I've never read her before. But again, the fact that I could just put it in a bag for $10 total, I was totally willing to go for it. It got a 3.92 on Goodreads. And look at this. It's got the old Borders sticker on it. Remember Borders? I used to love to go there. Anyway, let me get to the point about this series. It actually sounds really cool. So this is book number 2 in the Inferno Club series. They all got pretty decent ratings. None of them got a 4-star, but like 3.8, 3.9 for the most part. So the series is described like this. A scandalous gathering of wealthy libertines and high-born rake-hells devoted to their wicked pleasures. So the club's members are known to London society. But little does the world suspect the true purpose of the Inferno Club, or the danger that looms over England with these select, powerful lords and what they are secretly sworn to fight. Recruited as lads from the noble families, trained in an array of deadly arts, and sent into various countries throughout Europe to hunt down and destroy their targets, they are the operatives of an agency so secret that few beyond the crown and a few top officials even know it exists. I am ready to join the Inferno Club right now. I was able to nab 2 more by authors I've yet to read but have heard fantastic things about. This one got a 3.95. Now this one is part of the Royal Brotherhood series. It's number 3 of 3. It is actually a prequel series to another very popular series called The School for Heiresses. This one got a 4.11 on Goodreads. If you've seen my videos, you've probably seen me going on about Paula Quinn. The series I'm reading right now, the McGregor's Highland Heirs, I am not as enamored with, which is a disappointment, but I was still excited to find the 8th book in that series. I'm still giving it a chance. I'm still holding out hope. This one is, as I said, the 8th of 8, and it's actually got a 4.03 on Goodreads, which is far above just about any of the other books in the series. So I'm really excited to own this, and I want to read it and I want to love it. Continuing with Highlander, because you know I love a little Highlander now and then. I got 3 by Hannah Howell. Now, I have never read Hannah Howell. Again, taking those risks because I'm filling a bag. She did some with Lindsay Sands, I noticed, and I thought that was interesting, but then I wanted to read her on her own. Holy cow. Okay, let's talk about this for a sec. So we've got, first of all, I don't usually see a man's face this apparent. Normally they're sort of hidden, but I don't think I mind very much. This got a 4.07 with a ton of reviews. But I have to say, I was hopeful that it was part of the Murray family series, because let me talk to you about this. Okay, so most of her Highlander are part of the Murray series. Now, there are 22 books in the Murray family series, and they all have 4-star or above reviews. You don't see that. And these have thousands and thousands of reviews. I'm just amazed. And I'm really, really eager now to read this series. This one is number 11 with a 4.21. This one is number 3 with a 4.19. So I also wound up with Highlander mixed with a little fantasy. I've got 2 right here that I'm going to tell you about. I'll start with this one. On the cover immediately, I was like, wait a minute, what? When I saw this. Highland Knight. It's number 3 of 3 with the Ghosts series by Cindy Miles. This looks darling. They really are ghosts. So we have real life contemporary women with real ghosts. This got a 4.10. So he was in a battle 7 centuries ago, and disappears into the mist. Well, he and his men have been just kind of going around for centuries trying to figure out why they're in sort of the in-between, if you will. Well, he discovers Amelia like 7 centuries later and goes into her dreams because he's so intrigued by her. However, it's not all sunshine and flowers because a sinister presence is going to threaten their love. So The Dark Highlander, I accidentally bought 2 copies of this. So now it's adding to my stack for the free little library. But this is number 5 of the Highlander series with a 4.27. I already have the Immortal Highlander, which was number 6. So I have 5 and 6 right now of 8. These are all very highly reviewed, and I'm just really, really excited to try this. I can't tell you how many people have told me that they think, based on my tastes, that I would love this. So this one in particular, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna give it a try. Our heroine ends up going back in time to Scotland. Our main character is in New York City present day, but he is from hundreds of years ago. Even though he's existing amongst the people today, he's also fighting druids who have his soul captive. Apparently he's an alpha male, which is not my favorite thing, but we'll give it a try. So I already have 2 of the Immortals After Dark series by Cressley Cole. I have gotten 2 more. Dark Needs at Night's Edge, which is number 4. This is Wicked Deeds on a Winter's Night, which is a 4.34. These are all rated so highly. They both look like a lot of fun. And speaking of winter, I also got a winter book. This is not paranormal, but it's called Winter Fire. This got a 3.97. I've never tried Elizabeth Lowell before, but as I said 5 times already, I'm sure, fill a bag, try new things. It might be too dark for me or just too heavy. We have Orphaned at 13, A Mail Order Bride at 14, Widowed at 16. Sarah Kennedy has learned to depend on no one but herself. She then winds up caring for a Civil War soldier. He's a veteran. He has dealt with tragedy as well. So I don't know if this is going to be too heavy for me, but it sounds like their love conquers all. And I'm curious to at least try it. I just realized I wasn't stacking these over here, so you can't see them growing over here. This is a problem. Continuing on with a little more historical romance, here's an author that I'm familiar with. I've started 2 of her books. They didn't quite jive with me, but I still want to keep going because I've heard such incredible things. I want to try more and see if maybe we can find a good match. So this one is a 3.91. This is not part of a series. The Lady Risks All. It says Neville Roscoe, notorious and enigmatic, lives resolutely outside society, bound only by his own code of honor, until challenged by his desire for one woman he cannot have. Miranda Clifford is a lady imprisoned by rigid respectability, until tempted by a passion beyond her power to deny. Flung together in peril. Oh, there's peril. Through danger and intrigue, they discover a love impossible to ignore or keep. Oh, what's gonna happen? So it's funny, when I was first finding Stephanie Lawrence, everything I was finding was Bastion Club. And then I just grabbed 3 Sinster novels. And in fact, I even have a 4th that's related, but I'll get into that in a moment. This one is a little bit confusing because it's book 1 of the Sinster Sisters duo. And I have book 2 actually, which I was very excited about. So this got a 3.84. It's also considered number 19 in the Sinster series. We also have the Sinster Next Generation series, and she's written 12 of those, the 12th published just this year. The series is described as the contrast of gracious and elegant manners forming a wafer-thin facade over strong and dominant male emotions, such as possessiveness and protectiveness, is a constant throughout the Sinster books, which means I may not like it. The affinity of such warrior males for strong-willed women, oh, starting to like it, and the ability of their chosen ladies to exact complete and unswerving commitment to themselves, marriage, and family forms the central tenet of the series. So it sounds really interesting. And again, there's like 32 books in the series. I got book 8 and book 11. This one got a 4.16 on Goodreads, and this one got a 3.95. Now, let's take a look at the step back. Could this stubborn, beautiful woman be his bride? You see the church in the background. I love the wedding dress. I love the flowers and the sky. Oh, it's lovely. I'm almost more excited about this. This is part of the Casebook of Barnaby Adair series. This is number 1. This is called Where the Heart Leads. It says that it's a Sinister novel. It's certainly born out of the Sinister novels. It will contain the investigations that follow after Barnaby, Penelope, Stokes, and Griselda as they come together. So they're all mysteries. And I think that is so neat. There's 7 with novellas. So I can't wait to try these out. And this one got a 3.95 on Goodreads. And guess what? There's a step back. A gorgeous step back. Look at that. Oh, I love it. What more can we say? It's gorgeous. So jumping back into contemporary, I was so excited to pick up this entire series and pop it in my bag. We've got the Crazy Rich Asian series. I have all 3 of the books. This one got only a 3.98 on Goodreads, which I was shocked. Everyone I know that's read this said they loved it and that they loved the movie. I've never read the movie. I've never read the movie, and I've never seen the book. This got over 400,000 reviews. This one only got 188,000 reviews, but it got a 3.84 on Goodreads. And this one got the highest rating of all with a 3.94 with 151,000 reviews. I love this. They refer to this series as like Dynasty on steroids with more private jets, bigger houses, and a lot more money. That sounds so fun. Jumping back to paranormal for a minute. I know this is spooky season, so I was really excited. I was so excited to get this book. I was going to be doing this book anyway because I had an audio copy through my library. And I was going to be doing it for my Try a Chapter challenge on witch romance. And then I saw this and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to have this. This has a 3.95 on Goodreads. It was initially 4 when I chose it. But anyway, this is a really cool book, not even talking about the plot, but the paper is like the old school. I love the ripped pages. Or I'm not certain what that's referred to as, but I thought that was beautiful. We've got Miss Roberts herself on the back in Ireland. I'm sure maybe that's where she became inspired to write this book. And then the inside, beautiful. I'm sure this is very important in the story. But I love it's just so inventive, this cover. And it's part of the Cousins O'Dwyer series, from what I understand. Very well loved. I've heard a lot of my bookish friends online talk about really liking this. So I'm excited to try this. Julie Garwood. A lot of people love her. I have not yet had the pleasure, but I'm looking forward to it. I grabbed one of her contemporary novels the other day, and it's called Sweet Talk. This is number 10 of the Buchanan Reynard series. From what I gather, it's about the FBI, so it's going to be very exciting. This got a 4.0 on Goodreads, and here's the step back. City skyline, sunset, beautiful. But from what I gather, these are very like Law and Order type. There's crime, there's lawyers, there's FBI. It's very exciting, but there's also romance. I'm eager to try a suspense romance. This is one of her historical romance. Most of the ones I grabbed were. This got a 4.16 on Goodreads, and it is book 2 of 2 of the Laird's Fiancés series. So the other one was really highly rated. I'm intrigued. I also grabbed, and believe it or not, I didn't get all of the ones she had because I thought, okay, let me stop, because what if I don't like this author? I don't want to take all of the books. But these are 3 standalone. I'll tell you about each. We've got Rebellious Desire, which is a 3.97. You have a British gentleman who wants to own a woman essentially, but not really be in love with her. You have a lady from Boston. She really wants to claim him, but he's not interested. However, there is some danger that happens that brings them close together. A desire born in danger, but destined to flame into love. That last part was from the book. Well, this one was a surprise. I mean, maybe not to people that love Julie Garwood, but I didn't realize she would do a Western as well. This begins in England, but it's set in Montana. It sounds like a marriage of convenience. She's really not interested in the ranch lifestyle, but winds up loving it and the man who is willing to pretend to marry her. This got a 4.05 on Goodreads. I love the title, Gentle Warrior. It's set in feudal England. Yes, that is a castle. We have a woman who needs help, so she disguises herself as a peasant and basically tries to enlist the help of a gallant man. How often do you hear the word gallant anymore? I'm in love with what I'm already understanding about this book, and I cannot wait to read it. Julie Garwood did a series that was very well loved called Highland Lairs, and I actually got 2 books from the series. I am so excited. The Secret, which many people have told me is one of their favorite books of all time. It got a 4.25 on Goodreads. And Ransom, which I have seen everywhere. People talk about it all the time. It got a 4.32 on Goodreads. This thing is a beast though, almost 550 pages. I'm just so excited though to try to tackle these. I've just heard such incredible things about this series. And check out the step back. Yes, it's just scenery, but it's lovely scenery. This may not be a regular romance novel, so word to the wise. This is part of a series called The Tea Rose. It got a 4.20 on Goodreads. It looks like it could be women's fiction, but there is a touch of romance. I am excited about this. We have Fiona and Joe. They are sweethearts who both work in the same tea warehouse and are hoping to one day open a tea shop of their own. This is set in East London in 1888. Apparently something happens to her that has her fleeing to the United States. She winds up though becoming one of the top of Manhattan's tea trade, which I find fascinating. However, the old demons are threatening to return. So she has to go to London to face things head on. And apparently dealing with her past will also be a key to her future. Do you ever want a book that could double as a doorstop? Bam! Amanda Quick! I got Affair and The Paid Companion. 3.9, 3.96. I wouldn't necessarily have bought these because they're not 4.0s and I don't know this author yet, but I've heard fabulous things. And again, filling a bag for $10. I'm sorry I keep saying that. I was really excited to find this one too. Here's another hardback by Johanna Lindsay. Now, I have never read her before, but I've heard great things. Get a load of this one. It is just gorgeous. I love the horse grazing in the field, that castle there. So gorgeous. And of course, I mean, gosh, let's talk about the sleeves of this dress and the colors. And it got a 4.06 on Goodreads. Okay, so I broke my rule for this book. I've never read this author. I don't know anything about her. This only got a 3.76, but I went ahead and bought it because of the plot. It looked so fascinating to me that I thought I need to at least give this a try. We've got Lydia and Freddie. They are in love, but then he suffers a tragic accident. He passes away, and then she's trying to move on with her life when she actually is able to time travel back and be with Freddie again. So she has to decide which life she's going to choose. Is it going to be the life with Freddie, or is it going to be the new life with a potential new love that she is carving out for herself? I love stories like this. I love the movie Sliding Doors. I loved Lionel Shriver, I believe her name is, The Post-Birthday World, or The Midnight Library. Anything where you can choose various lives. I'm just fascinated by that type of book. And so when I saw this, I had to grab it. And at some point I'm going to try it. And if I don't like it, I just popped it in a bag for $10. Okay, this is not a romance novel at all, but I am a huge fan of Lucille Ball, and I saw this. It was $3. This was not part of the bag. This only got a 3.83 on Goodreads. I recently listened to her book, Love, Lucy, which was her autobiography, which her daughter found after Lucy passed away. Her daughter actually narrates the book. I love that I'm talking to you about another book while I'm pulling this book up. But if you want to hear a good book that's about Lucy from her mouth, read by her daughter. So from her daughter's mouth too. It's called Love, Lucy. And so I'm looking forward to perusing this as well. I just love Lucille Ball. Couldn't pass it up for $3. And now come the other two that I didn't even buy at that day at the library. They are romance, however, contemporary romance. An author that I am excited about, who you probably already know about. Emily Henry, The People We Meet on Vacation, and Beach Read. I got each of these for 20% off at Target, as you can see on the cover. I really want to read more Emily Henry. I loved the book Book Lovers. It was one of my favorite reads of the summer. One of my fabulous bookish friends on YouTube here, she was talking about how she read Beach Read and loved it, and she's currently reading People We Meet on Vacation vacation, and she says it's not quite as good, which is pretty much exactly what is reflected in their reviews as well. This one got a 3.96 and this one got a 4.06. I'm looking forward to both of these rom-coms and trying them out next summer. Well, there you have it, all my books. I spent $20 on most of these books. How exciting is that? Now I just need shelves of some kind, and maybe that'll happen next time. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is that you're reading. I hope that when you're done reading it, you have somewhere to put it that's appropriate. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.